Now, outcomes on their own can't be used to assess a student. Those outcomes first need to be added to a rubric or a scoring guide. And so let's walk through how you add outcomes to a rubric so that you can then attach them to an assignment. Now, you'll notice in your course navigation that there is a Rubrics link. Okay, and this is going to take you to kind of an index page of all the rubrics that are created. And these will be rubrics that you can manually create here, or ones that you create as you work on an assignment. Pretty simple. You hit add rubric. You can name the rubric. And so let's say reading information. Now it comes pre-populated, which I really dislike. I wish it would not, but we're going to delete that. And the next thing you want to do is you want to click Find Outcome, because we're going to look for one of the outcomes that has already been created. So I'm going to hit Language, and I'm going to hit that outcome is there, and then Import. And notice that it adds it right there to this rubric. And so I can then hit Create Rubric. Now, when I go to create an assignment, I can add this rubric to that assignment. This one way. And if you're going to consistently include certain standards together on multiple pieces of assessment, pre-creating some rubrics might be a beneficial way. But I think that the easiest way is actually to create rubrics on the fly as you create assignments. And so to do that, we're going to click on Assignments. And I already have some assignments created here. These are just some dummy ones, but I'm going to go ahead and click that first one. And down here you see that it says rubric. Okay. Now notice that the assignment is closed. I'm not actually in the editing section. You don't add rubrics in the editing section. You do it on the outside. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and click rubric. And you see that it gave me that same editing capability. Now I can go ahead and click Find Rubric, and I can find I can go into my course. Let's see, Learning Mastery Gradebook, Reading Information, and I could add this rubric that I've already created, and it's going to pull it in just like that. But I'm going to delete that. Click Rubric. But again, like I said, the easiest way would be to actually add rubrics as you go. And so the same thing that we did when we added the rubric prior to this, I'm going to say Reading Information. And I'm going to delete that criterion. I'm going to hit Find Outcome, Reading Information, use this standard, import. It adds that standard. Now note, you can add more than one standard, and we'll talk about how the total points affect the Learning Mastery Gradebook in another video. But you're not limited to just one. You can add multiple. So let's go ahead and add multiple. Let's go ahead and add this other standard too that we've imported. Okay, so we're going to do both these standards in this assignment. Now notice though that there are some checkboxes down here, and you want to pay attention to these because this right here, use this rubric for assignment grading. Depending on what you're doing, you're going to want to click that or not click that. So for example, if the assignment that you are doing has equal the number of points that are in the rubric, then you're going to want to click that. So this worksheet, I've decided only has 4 points. And so I don't want to use this because if I click this and then hit Create Rubric, it's actually going to warn me. It's going to say, leaving the, oh, come down, try again. Okay, let's try it. Create Rubric. And there we go. It says, leaving the assignment's total points at 4 and the rubric's total points at 8 will result in a maximum possible score of 200% for student submissions created with the rubric. And it will ask me if I want to change it. And what it will do is it will change the score of the assignment or the points to 8, matching the rubric, or leave them as different. Okay. And so if I hit leaving as different, then I'm going to end up with some bad math there, and my student scores are not going to be accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and hit change. And you can see now that it changed the points. Okay, so that's one way. Or you leave that unchecked, and it won't be used for grading, but you can still use it for Learning Mastery Gradebook. So that's how you add a rubric to an assignment and the outcomes to that rubric, either through the rubrics page or directly to the assignment. And if I were to click over here on rubric, you would see that now both of the ones that I created are in there. This one has 2 criteria and that one has 1. Cheers.